Hi there. My name is Katie Rogerson, and I am really excited to share with you some more of the why behind why should we make a switch in our school systems from toxic chemical cleaning to physically, mechanically cleaning. And it really comes down to the facts, the research, right? How does this work in the United States when it comes to testing and regulating chemicals? Well, I cannot wait to share some of this information with you. All right. So, first, I want to start with the facts. Okay. So, a child born in America today will grow up exposed to more chemicals than any other generation in our history. That's the truth. And that is scary and sad, isn't it? I mean, we are in this great country of industrialization, but it can also come with consequences, right? So let us begin with how our products, specifically disinfecting wipes, are regulated and tested for their safety. Okay, so the only regulation the United States has in place is the Toxic Substances Control Act of 1976. That was 43 years ago, and it has not been updated since. Like the FDA, the EPA is similarly just toothless, honestly, when it comes to protecting the public from dangerous chemicals. Though it does have the power to investigate some consumer chemicals through the Toxic Substances Control Act, the agency can only act if a chemical poses an unreasonable risk to public health. And that is difficult to prove, honestly. So since the TSCA was passed in 1976, the EPA has only tested around 200 of the 84,000 chemicals on the market today. 200 out of 84,000. The law hasn't undergone any substantial update since it was enacted. That is a problem, and this cannot happen, right? So it's up to us to take action and to be the voice for a safer environment and for our children. Okay, so in reality, the government plays a really small role, in part because it doesn't have the legal mandate to protect the public from harmful substances that chemical companies and manufacturers sell in their products. Federal rules designed to ensure product safety haven't been updated in more than 75 years. So new untested chemicals appear on our shelves every single day. Now, these agencies have very limited authority, which most of us don't think about, right? If you're like me, I always assumed that somebody was out there and that tested these chemicals and would not allow me to purchase them if they were harmful. Sadly, this is just not true. Regulators have to prove that a substance poses an unreasonable risk before they can even take action. This is a burden of proof that is so difficult that the EPA couldn't even ban asbestos, a known carcinogen that still kills 15,000 people each year. Think about that fact. So just because we can purchase something doesn't mean that it's safe. So although government, scientific, and regulatory agencies have focused considerable attention on chemicals suspected of causing cancer, they have devoted far fewer resources to evaluating the substances that may be toxic to brain and nervous system, hormone, and so many other organs in our bodies, right? And I want you to think about the rise in developmental delays, the rise in ADHD, the rise in autism. Think about that right now. Think about that. That is so scary. Where will we be in 10 years from now? We just don't know. All right, so I want you to pay attention to some red flags that you will see on disinfecting wipes, okay? The first thing that you're going to notice is a precautionary statement that usually says hazardous to humans and domestic animals, okay? So this is actually only required when there is a known hazardous ingredient in the product. But remember, that all ingredients that make up a product and when they combine to form this solution, they're not tested. So it's only the known ingredients. And listen to this. Ingredients in our products, about only less than 1% are listed on these containers. The other 99% are listed as other. And companies are not required to list these other ingredients because of trade secret laws. That is ridiculous. We are consumers. We should be able to make informed decisions. So when you look this up on the Department of Health and Human Services, there is no research or data to report on the main ingredient in these disinfectant wipes. Okay? Quats and health effects. Okay, so quats are one of the main ingredients that you will find in these disinfecting wipes. And I'm sorry, but I'm not even going to try to say it because it is a long word and I don't want to mess it up. But you know what? Maybe I'll try. It's called dimethyl ethylbenzyl ammonium chloride. And this is a surfactant and a disinfectant. And honestly, this specific toxic ingredient is thought to disrupt intramolecular interactions within organisms. So that is a pesticide, right? They use that to kill insects or, around the house. But what we don't realize is that is used in so many of our products in the homes, even shampoos. Now, if it can disrupt intramolecular interactions in other organisms, wouldn't it do the same for us?
Do you know
Exactly.
what spider it is?
So, quats and
Oh,
health
you wanted
effects,
this before.
okay? Exposure to these has the potential to cause serious and preventable health effects. So if we could prevent it, let's do it,
You
right?
need 40 more
So these may
pieces.
include contact dermatitis. It can trigger asthma symptoms in people who already have it, or a new onset of asthma in people with no prior asthma. Eye and mucous membrane injuries from splashes or contact with mist, and oral and gastrointestinal injuries from swallowing solutions that contain these chemicals. So, the role of quats in other disorders such as cancer, reproductive problems, endocrine changes has not been adequately studied. So, no guidance specific to these disorders can be provided. Exposure, though, to the use of these ingredients are disinfectants used alone or added to many of our cleaning products. So manufacturers have added them, for example, to dishwashing liquids, hand soaps, window cleaners, all-purpose cleaners, floor products, baby products, disinfecting sprays, wipes, air fresheners, and the list goes on and on and
It's
on.
down here in the kitchen.
So, what can we do? We have a few options, right? Because when we think about the known health risks, now here's the big key word here, known. They're only listing known harmful effects or known ingredients that cause harm. But we don't know what 99% of the other ingredients are because they're never tested. So I rather eliminate those from my home and my children's environment. So what we can do is we can switch to a safer alternative, right? Now, we do have several examples of other schools in Utah and Boston specifically that have banned disinfecting wipes from their schools. One parent in particular in a local Boston school district actually took her concerns right to the EPA and the Department of Agriculture. And she actually got a lawyer involved. And because disinfecting wipes are registered pesticides, the EPA and the Department of Agriculture actually sent a letter to the school asking them to cease of using these products in the school district. Amazing, right? Same thing with another school district in Utah. They have actually banned disinfecting wipes from their schools altogether because of the pesticide ingredients and the health risks that are involved. And they have actually suggested simply going to a microfiber cloth and water. How great, right? Now, if they're staff is to continue to use disinfecting wipes. They are required to take a mandatory training on how to use these properly because so many of us are not using them properly. So there are solutions. There's ways that we can go about it that will not only have positive effects on our health, but will improve the environments for our students, right? When they're not exposed to these chemicals that can have effects on their brain and nervous system, they're able to pay attention better. They don't have asthma or any other kind of reaction that can impede their learning. Not only that, but going with other safer solutions are almost always more cost effective. So you're saving money while providing a healthy learning environment. If you would like to learn where this information and research came from, please just contact us and we will be happy to provide you with our resources.